Limerick has a long tradition of workers' organisations. The medieval and early modern guilds are sometimes considered to be the precursors of trade unions, but they included both employers and employees. Unions in the modern sense emerged in the 1770s in Limerick, and in 1810 the Limerick Council of Trade Unions was founded, which still flourishes to the present. In the 1850s, Limerick bakers successfully fought for better working conditions and won the admiration of no less a figure than Karl Marx. Limerick unions were founder members of the Irish Congress of Trade Union when it was established in 1894. The most famous episode in Limerick labour history was the Limerick Soviet, which was sparked by the killing of Bobby Byrne, a local trade union and Sinn Féin activist, on the 6th of April 1919. During an attempt to rescue him, a policeman was killed, and in response the British authorities put the city under martial law. All persons travelling in and out of town had to obtain permits that were available from the officers of the local British Army garrison. These internal passports had to be displayed to the soldiers at the checkpoints whenever the holder entered or left the city. On the 14th of April 1919, in response to this, Limerick Council of Trade Unions called a general strike, which began and won universal backing from the city's workforce. It lasted for a full fortnight and ended on the 26th of April. It came to be known as the Limerick Soviet in imitation of the workers' councils or soviets that featured conspicuously in the revolutions then occurring all over Eastern and Central Europe. During the period of the Limerick Soviet, Limerick was governed by the Strike Committee of the Trades Council, which, as I mentioned, was nicknamed the Soviet and which took on the role of a revolutionary body. The Limerick Soviet controlled prices, distributed food, organised the provision of essential services, published a newspaper, and even printed its own paper money. It ended when the British cancelled the imposition of martial law in return for the ending of the strike. Thus, the Soviet achieved its aim of ending British military rule in the city, but in its aftermath, the labour and trade union movement in Limerick and in Ireland as a whole took a secondary place to the nationalist and Sinn Féin movement.